Andros, have you found all the goalkeepers you've played with are a bit different? Because
There's always
they're a
something
bit mad. Ben's a bit mad, and they're all a bit mad.
There's always, if it's not mad, they're weird, they're strange, they keep to themselves. There's always something in every goalkeeper that makes them different.
You gotta be. Why would you want to be like everyone else? Sod that for a game. Like, goalies are the best, honestly. They're normally so happy with their own company. Like, I'm so happy with my own company. I could happily just sit there, nobody talking to me. Don't forget, it's normally me talking, but if there is a quiet moment, I buzz off it, honestly. I love, like, my own peace and quiet. It's such a nice feeling, like, to be happy with yourself.
And Ben, if you win, I like to think I noticed this. I might be talking absolute rubbish. If you win 2-0, and the opposition goalie's made a howler, and you shake hands at the end of the game, and you always do because of that union, of course. I often think the winning goalie is more disappointed for the losing goalie having made a mistake than he is that his team has won. Do you know what I mean? The union of the goalkeepers almost seems to be, all right, let's say as big as the elation that his team has won.
Yeah, I'm gutted for him. The overriding feeling is we've won the game. That's the biggest thing. Yeah, the 3 points is the first and foremost. Don't get me wrong, that is the most important. But then, personally, I'm very upset for that goalie because I've been there. I've been that guy who's let in the bad goal or it's cost his whole team. Do you know what I mean? So that guy's got to go on a coach then, like back up to wherever with another 25, 30 blokes. All of them kind of in the back of their head thinking, oh, for God's sake, he let us down today. And it's a horrible feeling. Yeah. It's the worst feeling in the world. But like I say, it is what it is. Like, you need, like, I think goalies in particular is one of the biggest positions where you could benefit from doing some massive psychology work with a proper professional, because you have so much time by yourself inside your own head. You need to know how it works and why these feelings come in and what you should do with them when they come in.
I agree.
What age were you where you reckon you knew how your head worked? Because you're 37 now. What age were you?
Oh, no joke. Honestly, probably about the last 5 years. Only the last 5 years. Before that, it was just, honestly, it was like I would be chucking up a load of whatever and I was hoping for the best. It was a complete potluck. I wasn't in control of anything. My emotions, my skill set, anything. I didn't know what I was doing. It wasn't until I had... Because we had a really good psychologist at Watford. He was incredible, Keith Mincher. And he kind of when we were younger, he set some things in sort of progress for me. And then as we got older, I picked up on them again. And honestly, without doubt, not just football, it's life lessons as well. Massive life lessons that you can learn from it all. But no joke, honestly, probably the last 5 years, I've only been fully at ease with who I am as a person, comfortable in my own skin. And I think it's the biggest advice I'll ever say to young kids is just be happy with who you are. Be comfortable in your own skin. Don't try and be anything other than what you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I ask then a straight question? Do you think then, bearing in mind what you said, that the Manchester United spot came too early in your career then? Because you weren't in the position you now describe you are.
Oh yeah, for sure. Without doubt, it was without doubt the wrong place at the wrong time in my career. You know, it was like, I honestly, I remember signing, like the day I signed, I remember thinking, nah, they're gonna get me into training tomorrow, and they're gonna see me and think, what have we done? Like, what have we done? Because I bear in mind Stoke City at the time, right? And I'd never even played for Stoke City. I'd been out on loan at Wrexham for like 4 months. That was it. That was all of my career consisted of. And then Man United bought me for £1 million, and no joke, they put me on probably 10 times the wages I was on at Stoke City. I remember like they gave me a signing on fee. It was like 50 grand or something. And I was like, oh, I was showing my mum and dad. I was buzzing. Like, it was incredible. What a feeling. But honestly, the back of my head, I kept thinking, nah, they've made a mistake here. Like, they're going to see me in training and be like so disappointed. And no joke, throughout my whole career at Man United, which was probably 5 or 6 years I was at United for, I always had in my head, I'm not good enough for this. I'm not good enough for this. Because nobody had ever talked to me and told me or teach me when these feelings come in your head, what to do with them. Do you know what I mean? And in all honesty as well, I never really had anybody that would put an arm around me and kind of help me and show me the way. And that was a big thing for me as well. So that's why, like Andros, I'm sure you're exactly the same now. When you get young kids coming through, you can see what they're doing. And it's okay sometimes to shout at them and be a bit there, but sometimes you have to put an arm around them and show them the way and tell them and explain it.
Yeah. It's funny you said that, because I used to feel exactly the same way. If I was training with the first team at Spurs, if I was on loan, I used to think like, I hope I play a game before I train, because in training they'll figure me out. They won't play me. They'll see I'm useless. It's mad. Like, we all go through the same things as young footballers. And like you said, it's only till you get around 26, 27, you start to kind of, you start to see a psychologist, or you start to grow up and mature and see like you can understand your own mind more, and you, like you said, you start to become at ease with yourself. And similar to myself, it's only really last 2 or 3 years that I've just really, yes, I'm a Crystal Palace player. I used to play for Spurs. I used to play for England, but that's in the past now. I'm happy with where I'm at, and I'm going to attack the player and the person I am now. And
well, exactly, I think that the truth is that most people in life, doesn't matter what profession they are, do suffer from imposter syndrome at some stage. And that's exactly what we're talking about. And that's why, Ben, you said at that stage of your career, when you're playing for Man United on a Saturday or a Wednesday, chuck it all up in the air, anything could happen in the next 90 minutes. Because you're saying you weren't really in control of obviously you were in control of your physical faculties, but not your mental faculties.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a horrible place to be, honestly. It's a horrible, horrible place to be, where you don't fully know what the outcome of it. You can't just sort of, you can't get into autopilot mode, and autopilot mode is the best place to be, because you're so happy with everything. You know, everything's taken care of, everything's been ticked off in the week. So when it comes to that Saturday match day, like I say, it's autopilot, and it's the best place to be, because you play with a smile on your face. Everything comes naturally. You haven't got to think about anything. And even then, when you can get to the point of, it is what it is, I've done everything that I can do, and if it don't go well, that's the way it goes sometimes. You ain't always going to win, so there's no point in getting too upset about it either.